All right, so you're prepping for a medical sales rep interview, huh? And you want to totally nail it first try.
Sounds like a plan. It's a competitive field out there.
It is, and that's why we're doing this deep dive into this YouTube video. It's by Richard McMunn from PassMyInterview.com.
Oh, yeah, I've seen his stuff.
He's got this energy. It's almost like having a personal coach right there in your ear, you know?
Yeah, definitely. He really makes you believe you can do it, which is so important going into an interview.
Exactly. So right off the bat, he jumps into the classic, "Tell me about yourself." Seems basic.
Right. But it's your first impression.
Exactly. So what's McMunn's take on it?
Well, he says, think of it this way. The job description is like a puzzle, right?
Okay, I like where this is going.
And your experience, your skills, they're like the puzzle pieces.
So you got to find the pieces that fit perfectly.
Exactly. So, like, if they're looking for someone with strong presentation skills, you wouldn't just say, oh, yeah, I'm a good presenter.
Right, right. You got to back it up.
Yeah, you'd say something like, I once presented a new product to, like, 100 people, and it totally boosted sales.
Ooh, numbers. Love it. Now you're talking.
You're not just telling them, you're showing them.
Makes sense, makes sense. Now, McMunn, he gives a sample answer, and he uses these power words, like resilient,
Oh, yeah, you're big on those.
commercially driven, track record of success.
I mean, they sound good, but don't you think everyone kind of says that?
Yeah, it's a bit generic, maybe.
Right. So how do you stand out? Get specific.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you.
Instead of just results-oriented, you could say, I consistently exceeded my sales targets by an average of 15%.
Boom. Now that's what I'm talking about. Data.
Numbers grab attention.
Yeah.
They make your claims more credible.
All right, so next question. McMunn dives into, why do you want to be a medical sales representative? Now this one can be tricky.
It's more than just, well, I need a job, and it pays well.
Right, you got to show you actually care about the field.
Exactly. McMunn's advice is focus on your drive to learn new things.
I mean, in medical sales, things are constantly changing, right? Got to keep up.
Exactly. And he says, talk about how you build relationships, how you thrive under pressure.
Because let's face it, sales can be pretty high pressure.
That can be. So if you can show them you can handle it, that's a big plus.
All right, next up. This is a biggie. What are the essential skills and qualities needed to be a medical sales rep?
Ah, yes. The classic skills question.
I remember prepping for this one like crazy before my first sales interview.
McMunn breaks it down into some key areas. Commercial awareness, interpersonal skills, a passion for knowledge,
So it's like a checklist, basically.
Kind of, yeah. Organization, time management, presentation skills.
Okay, but how do you actually show those skills in an interview? It's one thing to say you're organized, but
You got to give examples. So instead of just saying, I'm good at managing my time, you could say something like, I managed to work part-time, volunteer, and still get straight A's in college.
ooh, that's a good one. Now they can actually picture it.
Right. You're not just telling them, you're showing them.
Okay, now for a question that really puts you to the test. What would you do if a physician requested a gift to write prescriptions for your product?
Ooh, this is a tough one. Gets right to the heart of ethics.
And in healthcare, ethics are everything.
Absolutely. McMunn is very clear on this. You got to stick to the code of conduct no matter what. He says, given in to that kind of request, it's not just unethical, it could have serious legal consequences.
So no matter how tempting it might seem,
You got to do the right thing.
you can be successful in sales without compromising your integrity.
And any company worth working for will expect that.
Okay, so we've talked about personal qualities, ethics, but now let's get to the core of sales. Handling objections. McMunn tackles the question, how would you handle sales objections as a medical representative?
Yeah, this is where strategy comes in.
He suggests some pretty interesting techniques like storytelling, cost-benefit analysis.
Yeah. Oh, and offer an implementation support. Like, we're not just going to sell you this product and leave you hanging. We'll help you integrate it into your practice.
Right, make it easy for them. But I think when it comes to medical professionals, there's an even more powerful approach, focusing on patient outcomes.
Absolutely. At the end of the day, doctors care about what's best for their patients.
Exactly. So instead of just talking about price or features, you could say studies have shown that this product can significantly reduce hospital readmissions.
Yeah, you're speaking their language then. You're connecting your product directly to their priorities.
Okay, last but not least, we got to talk about those dreaded behavioral questions like, tell me about a time you were in a work conflict and how you handled it.
Oh, everyone hates those.
But McMunn, he breaks it down using the STAR method. Situation, task, action, result.
The good old STAR method. It's a classic for a reason.
It helps you structure your answer, keep it concise.
The thing is, I've seen people get so hung up on trying to come up with this, like, huge dramatic conflict.
Right, it doesn't have to be some epic battle.
Exactly. You can talk about, like, a disagreement over a project deadline, or maybe a miscommunication with a colleague.
So even something seemingly minor can showcase your communication and problem-solving skills.
Exactly. The key is focus on how you approach the situation professionally, how you work towards the solution.
And it's not about playing the blame game, right?
No. It's about taking ownership, communicating effectively, and finding that resolution. Okay, and now for the question that always kind of throws people off. Sell me this pen.
Oh, yeah, that one. The classic sales challenge.
It's your chance to really show off those persuasive skills.
I remember feeling so intimidated by this one in my early interviews. Like, so much pressure.
It can be, yeah, but remember, it's not really about the pen itself, right?
It's about the process.
Exactly. It's about showing them you understand the sales process, that you can think on your feet.
McMahon actually encourages people to check out his full guide for a detailed breakdown of this question.
Makes sense. There's so many different ways to approach it.
Yeah, there really are.
One approach I think is particularly effective is really focusing on the needs of the buyer, in this case, the interviewer.
Okay, so instead of just launching into some like pre-rehearsed pitch,
Right. You start by asking them questions.
like about their writing habits.
Yeah. Their preferences, what they value in a pen.
So you're basically tailoring your approach to their specific needs.
You got it. It shows them you're not just trying to sell a product.
You're trying to solve a problem.
Exactly. You become a consultant rather than just a salesperson.
I love that. It takes the pressure off trying to be this like super slick, fast-talking salesperson.
Right. You can be more authentic, more genuine.
Speaking of authenticity, McMahon really emphasizes the power of storytelling throughout his advice, especially when it comes to connecting with healthcare professionals.
Oh, absolutely. He says stories can resonate with doctors on a much deeper level than just like data and facts alone.
Yeah, because doctors, they deal with people's lives every day.
Their emotions, their hopes, their fears.
A good story can cut through all the clinical jargon and make a real impact,
Exactly. It builds rapport, builds trust.
which are so crucial in medical sales.
Absolutely.
So we've covered a lot of ground here. From that compelling, tell me about yourself, to navigating those ethical dilemmas, to mastering the art of the pen sell.
It's been quite a journey through the world of medical sales interviews.
It really has. McMahon's video, it's such a fantastic resource for anyone prepping for this kind of interview.
Yeah, he gives you a really solid roadmap.
But I think it's important to go beyond just memorizing answers. Right?
Totally agree. It's not about regurgitating pre-packaged responses.
It's about understanding the principles behind the advice.
And then adapting those principles to your own unique experiences.
Your own style.
Exactly. And maybe even challenging some of those principles a little bit.
I like that.
Like we talked about McMahon's emphasis on certain buzzwords, right?
Resilient, driven, all that.
Right. I mean, they sound impressive, but if everyone's saying them, they kind of lose their impact.
Yeah, they can sound a bit insincere if you're not careful.
Exactly. So instead of saying, I'm passionate, maybe you tell a story that demonstrates your passion.
Show, don't tell.
Exactly. Let your personality shine through. Interviewers, they want to see the real you, not just,
Not just some polished, rehearsed version.
Right. And what I appreciate about McMahon's approach is he doesn't shy away from the challenges of the job.
Yeah, he keeps it real.
He talks about the pressure, the constant learning, the importance of staying ethical in a very competitive field.
And that's important. Going into an interview with a clear-eyed understanding of both the rewards and the challenges, that's going to make you a much more
Confident candidate.
Definitely. This deep dive, it's been about so much more than just acing an interview.
It really has.
It's about understanding what it really means to be a successful
and ethical. Yeah.
medical sales representative.
It's about finding that sweet spot where your skills, your passions, they align with the needs of the healthcare professionals,
And ultimately,
the patients they serve.
love that. So as we wrap up this part of our deep dive, I want to leave you with a question to ponder.
Ooh, I like this.
Beyond the interview, beyond landing the job, what kind of impact do you hope to make in medical sales? What legacy do you want to leave behind?
That's a really great question to think about.
It really is. It kind of shifts your focus from just getting the job.
To the bigger picture.
Right. Like, what kind of mark do you want to make on the world?
It shows you're thinking long term,
That you're not just in it for the paycheck.
that you actually care about making a difference.
And I think interviewers would pick up on that.
Definitely. It shows a level of maturity
Thoughtfulness.
that a lot of candidates might not have.
And at the end of the day, medical sales, it's about improving patient care,
It's about helping people.
doing a resource for healthcare providers.
So as you're prepping for your interview, keep that in mind.
Let that passion shine through.
Because the interview, it's a two-way street, you know.
It's a chance for you to check them out, too.
Absolutely. You're interviewing them just as much as they're interviewing you.
Ask them about their values, their commitment to ethical practices, how they support their sales
You
team.
want to make sure it's a good fit.
For both of you.
So this deep dive, it's been all about giving you the tools to ace that interview.
It's also been about something bigger than that.
It's about finding your place in the world of medical sales.
And making a positive impact.
So go out there and do great things.
You got this. And thanks for joining us for this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.